Okay, calling the emergency meeting of 3/13/2020 to order. Let's, opening ceremonies, we'll stand for a silent moment of reflection and pledge of allegiance led by, Michelle, would you like to lead us in the pledge?
Sure. Ready to begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Ms. Ford,
Here.
Ms. Yelsey,
Here.
Ms. Black, Ms. Bartow,
Here.
Ms. Anderson,
Here.
Ms. Snell,
Here.
Ms. Matoye,
Here.
Dr. Vaughn.
Here.
Oh, good, there's Mrs. Black.
Mrs. Black just arrived.
Terrific. Community input. This is an opportunity for the public to address the board. Oh, adoption of the agenda, sorry.
Move adoption of the agenda.
Second.
Mrs. Fleur, microphone. Good.
It's a cone.
It's I was told it was direct
Okay.
at the tip.
Your words are so profound, we want to hear.
Move adoption of the agenda.
There you go.
I'll
It's been
second.
moved by Mrs. Matoye and seconded by
Second.
Ms. Bartow. All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry, roll call.
Ms. Ford,
Yes.
Ms. Yelsey,
Yes.
Ms. Black,
Yes.
Ms. Bartow, Ms. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Snell,
Yes.
Yes.
and
Yes.
Ms. Matoye.
Okay, perfect. Community input. This is
Mrs. Black gets to read.
Mrs. Black.
Oh, sorry. Okay. This is for open or closed? Mrs. Fleur?
Oh,
It's a special
Close.
meeting, special agenda.
It's right at the bottom of your agenda.
Okay, thank you. This is an opportunity for the public to address the board on special meeting agenda items only. Each speaker has 3 minutes to address the board, and speakers may not cede unused minutes to other speakers. With board consent, the president may increase or decrease the time allowed for public comments, depending on the topic and the number of persons wishing to be heard. When addressing the board, it is helpful if you state your name and address for the record.
Terrific. I have 2 cards. Steve Smith?
Thank you, Mrs. Fleur. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to address all of you, but primarily this is probably for the superintendent mostly. I may be telling you some things that you already know or believe. I apologize in advance for that, but I'm here because I don't want to assume anything. So if I'm repeating something you already, as I said, already know or believe, then forgive me. So I was at Costco twice this week, the market last night, went to the market to get one thing. No, it was not toilet paper. And as you probably experienced, it's pandemonium sometimes, chaos. There's no rhyme or reason to it. My work, I have to be data-driven, and the data tells me that there is almost no risk whatsoever to my personal health. So about a week ago, I bought a ticket opening day, baseball opening day, April 3rd, and I have secured a ticket nonstop round trip to Hawaii to visit my son for less than $200 because of all this. So thank you very much. You may look at the data. I don't know what you're going to determine. You're going to look at the data, and the data will probably show you that the risk is extremely small, maybe the same or less than it is to me. But at the end of the day, that's probably not what's not going to matter to the community. And so I wanted to convey that to you. There's a lot of emotional responses to this. And for what it's worth, my recommendation to you, just to avoid whatever pitfalls may come as a result, is that you probably will have to close the schools relatively soon. Okay, so thank you.
thank you.
Dr. Dowdy?
So good afternoon. I'm Britt Dowdy, Newport-Mesa Federation of Teachers President. I'm passing around a copy of an email I sent to you less than a half an hour ago, so you may not have had a chance to read it.
Probably not.
And basically, where we are as a federation is we have had a meaningful, thoughtful conversation with Ms. Olson and Mr. Lee Sung over the past few weeks. We're having regular updates with both them and the CSEA President, Pam Saunders. And we are working through the list of items that we have questions about. And there's a lot of technical things related to this, found in different types of codes and regulations that we're all trying to seek answers to. So whatever your decision that you make today, what we want to be thoughtful on is that the decisions made don't constrain things too much, because there's a lot of fluidity going on. And so we need to maintain our ability to research what exists in legal code, figure out what are the items that we need to negotiate and memorialize in writing, and have these different types of flexible pieces. And some of the main things that what we are hearing from our members are related to their use of sick time and leave of absences, and how do you deal with scenarios where someone in the community is in a quarantine and how that impacts them, and then their anxieties and all of these things. So there's a lot bubbling up within our members. The other piece that we want to make sure that we have a lot of flexibility with the administration is, what do we do if schools are closed, and what do we do about learning and online learning? So we want to keep all the channels open and not have a policy that becomes a little too restrictive. Maybe we need to come back and kind of memorialize some things a little bit later. That's the first thing I wanted to reference. The other piece is as Mr. Smith just said, I recognize that our risk of infection is very low. I recognize that our district has taken prudent actions and is doing everything that we are able to do to maintain a safe place for our employees and students. However, the anxiety level of our members that I hear from constantly at this point is extremely high. And they're worried about their own children that may live outside the district. They're worried about their own health. They're worried about the health of students. If the board were to make a decision to cancel classes or do something along those lines, we support that. We're not advocating necessarily for a position at this moment in time, but we are supportive of your decision, and we are willing to be full participants in helping to create, what we need to moving forward. Sometimes you got to move slow to move fast, is the adage that said, and we think that we need to be thoughtful and maybe, I'm trying to tell people, let's pause, stay calm. We're working on plans. We're getting questions about all the details, and we're not in the details phase yet. So when we get to the details, that's where we definitely need to be really involved on them. Thank you.
Thank you, Britt.
Britt,
Nicholas
Britt, can I ask that you resend the email? It went to the wrong email address, so that just so I can have a copy. The BOE doesn't come right to us.
Oh, I apologize. I will resend it.
Thank you.
Nicholas Dix.
Hello, everyone. I just want to echo the sentiments that Britt shared with you regarding our members, and I want to let you know that by the mere fact that you have convened this emergency meeting, it's very reassuring to people. So with regard to the resolution, it would appear that the intent of this resolution is to give the superintendent the authority then to make necessary decisions rather than wait on the Orange County Health Agency. So in that case, we would appreciate, a school closure, because our members are really concerned about the resources that are available in order to do all the things that need to be done. Most specifically, the issue of sanitizers. We know that all this stuff has been ordered. We know that we're in the process of waiting. But in the interim, concerns about risk of exposure, that we're continuing to hear that. So the other issue is that our members are also concerned that they don't want to be left out of any changes that are going to impact them. I know that a lot of changes are going to have to be made rapidly. We just want to make sure that we continue to have an avenue to have discussions before implementations are made and significant changes are made to the way that our members work. So thank you very much.
Not at this point. We need to go into closed.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. According to rules and regs, we need to vote, and we require a 2/3 vote of the board to go into closed session. So I need a motion and a second to move into closed session.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Metoyer moved. Ms. Anderson seconded. Roll call, please.
Ms. Fleur?
Yes.
Ms. Yelsey?
Yes.
Ms. Black?
Yes.
Ms. Bartow?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Snell?
Yes.
Ms. Metoyer?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. We are now moving into closed session with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, facts and circumstances that might result in litigation against a local agency pertaining to the coronavirus. There will be a report out afterwards. So
11, 111?
111 on 213.
That's funny.
We are reconvening into open session. There is no readout. We will entertain a motion for a resolution. The resolution is adopt Resolution 170320, authorizing the superintendent to take any and all necessary actions to repair and respond effectively to the novel coronavirus, COVID-19.
Second.
Dr. Navarro, would you like to talk about this resolution?
Yes, this resolution allows us to move with urgency to create a safer environment for our students and our staff and to limit the possibility of infectious disease, COVID-19, from entering our community and infecting students and staff. I would like the public to know that I myself am thankful for the leadership at the state level, the state superintendent of schools and the governor, as well as the leadership at the Orange County Department of Ed. They've led this effort to allow us to take these steps and not to be held back by some of the regulations that prohibit us from enacting the plan that will be mentioning here this afternoon. So a lot of work on the state's level, a lot of work done at the county level. The county superintendents have been meeting together so that we're supporting one another. And I know that we'll be able to service our students, protect our staff, and minimize contact amongst those who are both attending our campuses and working in our district. And I would like to ask Mr. Lee Sung to share how we intend to roll our plan out.
All right, thank you, Dr. Navarro. So first of all, I want to distinguish why we're taking this action. And that is obviously we want to do our part to minimize social interaction with our students and amongst our staff. This is not due to any positive case of the coronavirus in any of our schools. That's very important for everybody to know.
That we know of.
Yeah, that we have no confirmed case. So we're trying to do our part in line with what the state has recommended. So with that in mind, we do want to announce that we plan a school closure for one day of March 16th, which is Monday. And when I say school closure, that's defined as no students and no staff, with the exception of our management and administrative employees, which we do consider essential to report to work as usual on Monday, March 16th. Starting on Tuesday, March 17th and through March 19th, we will do what we call, what the state and CDC has been referring to as a school dismissal, which means that students do not report to school, but staff does report to work. And staff we will be sending a message to staff and informing them that they need to report to work as usual to their normal work location at their normal work time on March 17th. On March 20th, which is a Friday, we are going to be working hard to begin instruction via a distance learning plan. And part of the reason why we need staff to report to work starting on that Tuesday, March 17th, is to provide adequate training and allow for prep time for that instruction to begin in a distance learning format starting on March 2nd. And that will go through April 3rd. So March 20th to April 3rd, we will be doing distance learning. That is then followed by spring break, April 6th through April 10th. And then we intend to have students return to school on April 13th. But of course, we will assess the situation as we approach April 13th. And if we need to extend that, we of course will come back to the board for some action on that. Or actually, I take that back. You have given the superintendent authority to do that. But we will, of course, communicate with our entire school community and staff what happens from April 13th on. So that is the plan. We've got a lot of work to do this afternoon to properly communicate that to our staff, to our union leaders, and to our parents. But we believe this is the right thing. Now, we've been asked by many individuals, including many of you on the board, whether, even though we have a school closure, whether we would continue to provide meals for students who are part of the free and reduced lunch program or not. We will have meals available at lunch at every neighborhood school. Every one of our schools, we will have meals available that students can come pick up a meal and take it home. We won't provide a facility, but they can pick up a meal as usual. So that will be done between 11 a.m. and 12:30 at all of our school sites. Any questions or additional comments?
I have one. Russell, when you're talking about school closures on Monday, the 16th, that is all schools, so all facilities, use permits, et cetera. And so I just want to be real clear, we need to get a confirmation on whether our community meeting at Ensign, which was scheduled to take place on March 16th, is now postponed. Is that the concurrence of the staff, or are we still considering that one?
So that is a very important question because we are closing our facilities. Does the Ensign meeting continue? I believe Dr. Navarro wanted to confer with the board on that because we know that is an important meeting to gain input from the school community there as well as to make decisions. But I will leave that to Dr. Navarro.
So what I would like is to have the executive board members meet with me afterwards so that we consider whether we continue with meeting or we offer an alternative method to
Can we do a thought, I mean, a different week would be fine, but couldn't we do a thought exchange? I mean, we have.
well,
that
that's one of
software.
the alternatives we could consider. Okay?
I just have a question. So the other facilities like Hope Clinic and the Welcome Center, will that be open?
Thank you. We have a number of facilities that aren't necessarily school that provide services. What we are requesting through this plan is 3 days or 4 days to get our planning in order. So the Welcome Center, the kindergarten or preschool assessment center, the Hope Clinic, they will be closed to the public, but staff will be there starting on Tuesday to assist families. And then once we get everything in order, we do intend to open to the public on those facilities.
So they can call in?
Yes.
And will we be having communication then with, about possible childcare options for staff that has to work, but they have children at home?
Well, that is something that we can look into, but our first priority right now is to take care of our students and our program and our staff. But we have been asked that question by several of you at the dais, and something we can look at. But keep in mind, the whole purpose of these school dismissals and school closures across the state is to minimize social contact amongst our students.
I would like to thank the staff and the board because we'll be coming in for a discussion, but it's been a small team and a larger team and a small team and a larger team, and you have worked tirelessly to make sure that our students and staff stay healthy and still receive the education that they're promised. So you've been creative and out of the box and back in the box, and then keeping the box 6 feet away from its other boxes. So you've done a wonderful job. Thank you so much. And I apologize if anybody doesn't. I get through crises with humor, so
Okay, so.
I don't know this is serious.
We have a resolution by Mrs. Yelsey and seconded by Mrs. Shar. I just want to reiterate, Mrs. Shar, Ms. Metoyer. Okay, just want to reiterate to make sure that everyone's clear. March 16th is full school closure. May I finish, please?
Certainly.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Full school closure, no staff other than management and administrative staff to report.
Nutrition services.
All of our teachers, all are classified, no students on March 16th. March 17th through the 20th, we are asking staff to return to school. It'll be a school dismissal. No students, but all staff to report to their assigned locations.
Yeah, let me clarify that piece so that we don't misinterpret anything. So yes, March 16th, no staff, no students except for management needs to report. Starting March 17th, we want all of our employees to report to work, their regular work assignment, regular work hours, and they will be given instructions at that point. And from that point forward, employees will continue to report to work, okay? The part where it gets a little confusing is when we mix in the students with that. Yeah, because students will not receive instruction on March 17th, 18th, and 19th. Our plan is to begin distance learning instruction on March 20th.
Great, thank you. So with that said, roll call, please.
Ms. Fluor?
Yes.
Ms. Yelsey?
Yes.
Ms. Black?
Yes.
Ms. Bartow?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Snell?
Yes.
Ms. Metoyer?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 7-0. Terrific, thank you, board, for
And we're
participating.
just recessing until Monday.
And we will be recessing until Monday. We'll let you know what time we'll be reconvening. It's fluid, we're talking nimble, Fairleigh.
Can I just
And
ask one
thank you again on behalf of the board for all of the hard work. I know that this has not been easy. We appreciate all of our staff. They've been fabulous, and thank you very much. Moving on.
Everyone be safe.
Be safe.